as the Bitcoin dominance is dropping to the downside and Ether grinding to the upside, and the Bitcoin itself showing you that it's stuck in a range, which is a great thing to watch because right now there is a lot of volatility in the market. You're watching a lot of these rumors coming out, which actually favors altcoins. And what do I mean by that favors altcoins? Because right now, when you're in the market, you're literally watching some of these assets riding higher. 600%, 500%, 300%, 200%, 100%. So there is a lot of these different assets in the market, which is now starting to run higher, break higher, show different patterns and segments, showing you money is entering into different segments, and even on the payments front. What about XRP? What about XLM? What about the favorite assets, the ISO, the blue chip tokens? That's the thought process. We are still looking to the downside. At least the ABC pattern shows us a retest of 0.528, 0.53 range. So do we get a bounce off from here? Are we still trending lower? We're going to break that down here. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. In SI family, we go through a lot of these assets, a lot of these calls, the buy, the targets, and each and everything. Right now, we're watching the market evolving, breaking through, hitting those targets, moving higher. Why? Money flow is now into the altcoins, and that's something which the market is showing us. That means, yes, people are talking about the downside of Bitcoin. They talk about the downside to 30,000, 10,000, 5,000, 3,000. It's all in. So we don't try and put panic in the market. Rather, we look at the market with a little bit of logic, with proper technical analysis. So the market does show you the fact that it is still at that resistance. Consolidating a little bit doesn't change a lot of things here. Now, if you do see the market, the price action, closing this week in red, a bearish candle, then yeah, you may actually start to watch negative divergence getting confirmed. Because if you do look at these different assets, at one point they were all showing the negative divergence. But right now, if you do look at them, they're grinding higher from that $4, $4.50 mark. R&D went up. Right now it's at 7.5. I mean, that's a big run to the upside, even though it was showing a possible negative divergence. It didn't get confirmed, right? So the market is trying to trick us one way or the other. This is where when we go on a macro chart for XRP, this becomes like, okay, fine, look at this. This kind of makes a lot of sense. You came up to test the moving average, you're getting rejected. That really doesn't actually look good. So whether we like it or not, the price action is showing you the fact that the downside is not over yet. Maybe you're going to come back down to retest the same bottom as a double bottom. This doesn't actually fit the narrative of we're about to burst, right? But then you need to keep in mind that there are assets like this, say HBAR is another asset, which actually is grinding higher, which is showing you a lot of momentum. You know, we're in that trade there. And we've been following up this from some time. So we knew that this bounce was valid and we called it out, 0.045, 0.046, right? Now the price is 100% up, close to 200% up. If you look at the RSI, it's in the overbought territory. If you look at the MACD, it's in the positive zone, crossing back to the upside. So it gives a lot of that view where it shows bulls are entering heavily. Fine. But when you do go back in history for these kind of assets, say you jump on to HBAR. Historically speaking, if you do compare HBAR with XRP, again, you need to wait. I know that's not the thing which we all want to listen to, but this is the fact. HBAR went up when Bitcoin was getting closer to the top. 48,000 last time when the local top was like 65. True. That means Bitcoin is nearing that range. This is happening just like 2021, there's a lot of things rhyming this time around. Now, when did XRP started running? It started running by mid-March, all the way to April, May. So if you do look at that, this asset first need to complete a run up. Even though it's in the same segment, the payment industry, you may actually see this asset running higher. So you literally had this asset bouncing back up, consolidating in a range, a trading range. So you got the same movement here, a trading range here. Now you went up, you broke to the upside. Now, the test of the LPS has been slow here, has been a little bit lower, whereas at this point, it's a bit higher. In both cases, you're watching that the accumulation or reaccumulation zone has been broken. That's all you want. Now, if you don't like all the noise, move away from that, move on to a weekly chart. This gives you the easy perspective. Now, if you're someone who's like, Danny, I don't know a lot of technicals, just take a Heikinashi on a weekly. When it's green twice and your RSI is pointing you to the upside and at least it's above 50, that's a huge sign. Now, in this perspective, you're watching there is a breakout, a retest, and a bounce. You already have these two candles. So if you do enter this asset now, you'll only exit when there is a red weekly candle confirmed. A candle close showing you, the momentum is losing. So that's the same story. You buy and you sell here. Yes, for sure, you're not getting the absolute top, but you do get to ride when you are in the zone. And right now you are in that territory where you have a lot of opportunity. So if you are riding an asset, whether that's in the payments, whether that's in the smart contracts, whether that's in the infrastructure, there's a lot of different assets going through the roof now, right? Whether it's in the gaming, sports, whichever you like. But the market right now is showing you, this phase of downside is kind of over. You're here. What does that mean? You had this range, the trading range, the accumulation range, which broke to the upside, Then you got the retest. Now we are going back up. So if history is to repeat, this is the easiest way. Now, feel like even this is volatile, you want less noise. Now that's like, you're going on a monthly chart, but you need a ton of patience to look at this. Once you do get these kind of movements, what happens in the market is you ride it till there is a red candle. Yes, you're going to see these kind of volatility if it comes in between, but that gives you the 1, the 2, the 3 easily. When the monthly RSI is in the range of 80, 85 plus, there is something you should be worried about. Maybe you are already reaching the top. You don't want to find or track that top because that's really hard. If you're riding this asset, you're getting 30, 40, 50x or even 10x. That's a great ROI. So one of the easiest stuff to look at is this. Okay, where is the RSI? Say, look at the other assets which actually went up like nuts and since then it's slowing down, right? The monthly RSI is here. That's INJ at 85. Remember, when this asset was going up a month back, we highlighted the fact in December, guys, I don't feel really good with this asset. If you are in, take profits and move out. That was like close to $40. Now it's still below that. It hasn't dropped hard, but I do believe that this is the phase we are in. There should be a trap. It'll go up, trap the retail, and then drop. That's where your trend line is, and this break here should be that concerning part. But as of now, you're not there. So when this goes to do this, on the other end, you're watching the XRPs, the XLMs, those kind of assets running pretty hard. This is what the market has shown us historically. And when you reduce noise in a lot of these assets, this is what you're watching. There is a pattern which now looks absolutely similar to a lot of infrastructure assets. Like you have this accumulation. And remember, once you enter into such a long-term consolidation and you break higher, the upside, historically speaking, is monumental. Now the weekly is here. That's not a small thing. You're going up. Now, any asset for that matter, when you look at them and you're watching that the weekly RSI is through the roof, monthly is now at 90, I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe it's going to do another 100%. I don't know. But for me, this looks super risky. So if you are in this asset, you're riding this asset, ask the question, isn't that 30x a good deal? Isn't that 40x a good deal? Say you bought the breakout here. Say this was the breakout which we called out. So if you do look at that and put the argument like, okay, fine, I got this 17x. Is that bad? No, it's not. It's a huge deal because the monthly is overbought here. So that's a sudden spike in the price action. Whether you are in different segments of asset, make sure this is what you are following. Some of these assets are starting, I agree, and they are reaching that territory for the first time after a long period of accumulation. You're doing this phase. So it looks a lot similar, right? Maybe you are in this phase, you're going to do this and go up. Maybe you're here, you're about to start up. But that's where I'm like, okay, there's a question mark of where we are now. Either we are here or we are here. But some assets does show you, no, you are here. Ride those assets. And that's one of the reasons why we go through those details in the SI family. So each and every one of us know what we are doing through all these charts. 1,000+ members are taking benefit of my calls today. If you would like to participate, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below or in the bio on Twitter. And guys, keep this in mind. When you jump onto the perspective of XRP, of XLM, you're still here. We haven't seen this price action breaking to the upside. It doesn't matter how much we like it. First thing is we need to see the market responding positively. Yes, the MACD on a 3-day is crossing to the upside, but it's not yet in the positive zone. You'd like to see that, right? The momentum, the volume is there. On a weekly, yeah, it is in the positive zone, but we do have to cross to the upside. So if we do that, it's going to be cool. It's going to be great. Because here on XLM side of things, you're watching it a little bit closer, say a 3-day chart, a daily chart. And you're like, okay, that's also showing you the similar movement just below the moving average. That is where you're like, okay, if the price action is so clear and it's showing you that it's retesting, there should be something evolving in here. The micro drop, the micro accumulation, a micro breakout. We are waiting to see that happen. But remember, the market is not waiting for us. The market literally is showing you this. It's moving up. For the one reason or the other, you are looking at a lot of different assets starting to break through, some of them running up. But focus on this. Which of these assets have huge volume? Where is the money moving into? Say you see an asset which is breaking higher, but there is literally no increase in the volume. You're watching that for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, nothing is happening. So yes, there is a breakout, but not a lot of people are interested in it. So you need to see a breakout and the volume increasing. So a lot of people are watching that price is breaking higher and they are buying. The price keeps going up. If no one notices, even though it's a breakout, what happens? It doesn't get the momentum. So at that point, yes, you were right. You got the breakout, but a lot of others didn't actually follow through. So you did not get follow through price action. At that point, you get out. You look for another asset because not every asset which shows you the same structure end up in the same way. That's why I say look at the volume. If money flow is entering there, use that. Take that for your advantage. And that's exactly what we're doing in the SI family. You're trying to use the current momentum which exists in the market. Remember, we had $2 trillion. And we haven't started any big pops yet in the large cap. So think, as soon as they start moving, what would you see in the price action? You're going to see a lot of these assets running up like crazy. Say, any project, any direction you are in, you are looking at them on the macro. And look at the strength index here. This is where you are. Last time you had this amount of strength, the price was close to the all-time highs. That's something, isn't it? Right? And you're just breaking through this range, retesting and trying to bounce off. Usually the ABC structure comes in, so I would like that to happen before we grind higher. If that happens, you're like, okay, smart contracts is taking off, infrastructure is taking off. You get to see that, you get to feel that. So guys, if you received value, smash that like button for me. I appreciate that a lot. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.